I'm not likable. I don't get along with people. When I go to work, I don't make eye contact.
Before Chris Farley would light it up in the 90s, appearing on Saturday Night Live alongside close pals Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Robert Schneider, and David Spade.
Oh God, these are good.
Sydney, can you leave some for us? I thought you were trying to lose weight.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Before Chris Farley would transition to the big screen, appearing in films Wayne's World, Coneheads, Billy Madison, and later take the lead in Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, and Beverly Hills Ninja. Before Chris Farley would make unforgettable late-night appearances like this one on David Letterman in 1996. Before Chris Farley would pass away at the age of 33 in his Chicago apartment.
A final farewell to comedian Chris Farley.
In his all too brief career, Chris Farley created hilarious characters that have stood the test of time. Now for me as a child, the White Ninja, Tommy Boy, and his SNL appearances, well, they were must-knows, and everyone would have a turn trying to do their best impression of his brilliance. Now even in smaller roles, Chris, he always managed to steal the show.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
Beginning in the Midwest, Chris moved his way through the Chicago improv and sketch comedy scene at I.O. and Second City. Now he broke through as a cast member on Saturday Night Live in 1990 before landing roles in several iconic big screen comedies. Now behind the clown, there were plenty of personal demons, and he struggled with both drug and alcohol abuse. Now he was in and out of rehab more than a dozen times during a 2-year span. And his brother Kevin, he recently explained in an interview with Fox News what he thinks was going on with his bro. He rose to fame very quickly, and I think that came with a lot of pressures that he wasn't really prepared for. Now Kevin added, he really enjoyed his work and he enjoyed his life, but addictions can play tricks with your brain and your self-esteem. I think that's what he struggled with. Now we got lots of info and tidbits even die-hard fans won't know, like his future projects that were in the works, which included him voicing the character of Shrek before his passing.
Simple. Fartwad gets his princess, I get what I want.
Which is? Now come on, what do you want?
I don't have time to set it to music.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden paying tribute with a Before They Were Gone video on the late and great Chris Farley. Now this video wasn't necessarily requested by a whole bunch of you guys, but sometimes I find myself researching legends when I'm like off the clock, and it's just something that I wanted to post. Now if you enjoyed this video, well, we could do a follow-up on John Belushi. Let us know in the comments down below. Alright, I'll see you guys after the intro. Christopher Crosby Farley was born on February 15, 1964 in Madison, Wisconsin. The middle child of 5 siblings, his parents, Mary Ann Crosby and Thomas Farley, well, they owned an oil company and are of Irish lineage. Now he quickly took to making other students laugh during his elementary school days. In high school at Edgewood High of the Sacred Heart, well, he was an athlete playing rugby, football, and hockey. From there, he took an interest in theater and he enrolled at Marquette University, and he also studied communications. Now, post-graduation, Farley performed with the Arc Improv Theater Group and the Improv Olympic Theater in Chicago. There he was mentored by Del Close, who had also taught John Belushi, the famed comedian who Farley very much looked up to.
I'll direct a porno film. The young man's saying he's gonna direct a Gavin, I'm not sure if that's the approach we want to do there.
After joining the cast of the Second City Theater, Chris Farley was discovered by Saturday Night Live producer Lorne Michaels. Now he made his cast debut in 1990 and quickly became known for skits that included doing a Chippendales dance alongside Patrick Swayze. He also played motivational honcho Matt Foley, who was actually named after a real-life university pal who later actually went on to become a priest. I live in a van down by the river! It always gets me. And we also hosted the Chris Farley Show, in which he fumblingly interviewed guests like Paul McCartney and Martin Scorsese.
Remember a couple weeks ago when you were doing the show and I didn't see you waving? Well, that's it for this week's show. Thank you to Jeff Daniels, one of the greatest actors of our time, or God, I hate trying to end these things.
Now, when they weren't busy working on SNL, well, Chris and Adam Sandler were the SNL pranksters. They were known for making late-night prank phone calls from the SNL offices to Rockefeller Center. With Adam, he would speak in an old woman's voice, and Farley, he would fart into the phone and moon cars from a limousine. He was also known to frequently get naked and do various stunts for laughs, and he would party into all hours of the night.
Yes! Well, then do it! I am! Do it harder! I'm trying! Push it. I am pushing! Push it harder! I hate this! Sweat it out! I'm trying!
It's all right. You're on the show. It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, you gonna do some more?
Okay.
Oh, do it. Do it fast!
I'm trying!
Eventually, Chris, he got fired from SNL in 1995 at the same time as Adam Sandler. Now, Adam, he explained to Howard Stern, I remember when I saw Farley and he said, me too, they don't want me either. We got mad together, pretended we weren't sad, pretended this was for the best. Now, it didn't take long for Chris to parlay his SNL success into a big screen career, making his film debut as a security guard in Wayne's World in 1992 and starring in the 1993 sequel. Chris Farley was then featured in Coneheads in 1993 and Airheads in 1994 before landing his first lead role in the hit Tommy Boy, in which he co-starred with friend and comic partner David Spade. Now, after Chris Farley was featured in the Adam Sandler comedy Billy Madison in 1995, well, he and Spade, they then reunited for 1996 Black Sheep. The following year, Farley again appeared in a lead role in the martial arts comedy Beverly Hills Ninja.
Okay, Chris, you're the man. Give me a thumbs up. Kick ass.
Now, apparently when this movie came out, he actually cried in his manager's arms. He just didn't like the way that he was portrayed. He was just sick of falling down for a laugh and thought that's all it was ever going to be for him. Despite his movie superstardom, while the comedian, he had major personal demons. Now, Chris Farley, he was consumed by fame's spotlight, but he struggled with drugs and liquor. He was also in and out of rehab more than a dozen times within a 2-year span. He also regularly engaged in highly excessive, out-of-control behavior. Chris openly spoke about feeling pressured to constantly be an attention getter even when he wasn't in front of the cameras. Now, his manager publicly expressed concern over his client's well-being via a magazine article, and David Spade, he shared similar sentiments over his friend's health in an interview. In 1997, 2 seasons after he'd been fired from the show, well, Chris Farley was invited back to SNL, this time as the host. Now, he was spiraling out of control by then. He had lost his voice during the dress rehearsal, and he was breathless throughout the live broadcasts. He was a loud, wheezing shadow of his former self. SNL alumni Chevy Chase, he urged Chris to clean up his act, stating, when you overdose or kill yourself, you will not have the same acclaim that John did. Of course, he's speaking of John Belushi. He was struggling with a bit of an identity crisis, and he didn't want to be the fat guy who falls down any longer. Now, despite his inner turmoil, there were a lot of big projects that were coming his way. He was offered the lead in Cable Guy, but due to scheduling conflicts, well, the job, it went to Jim Carrey. Now, he was also selected to voice the character of Shrek, which would have made him a mega millionaire. And there was another animated feature that he was set to star in titled Dinosaur. Probably wouldn't have made him as much bank, but Shrek, that would have made him a very rich man for the rest of his life. Now, the role he wanted for himself was a dramatic one in the biopic for silent comedian Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. Now, this is a role that had been in the works before with both John Goodman and John Belushi, and finally Chris Farley. Now, this film, it's now considered to be cursed because everyone who signs on to take on the role, well, they just pass away suddenly. He was also penned into the script for a third Ghostbuster film, and Adam Sandler was working on the script for Grown Ups, and he had a role for Chris Farley that instead went to Kevin James. Now, on December 18th, 1997, Chris Farley was found dead by his younger brother John in a Chicago apartment in the John Hancock building. While researching this video, I actually found out a weird piece of information. His next door neighbor was none other than Jerry Springer. Now, he passed away after an extreme binge of substances and party hopping, and it was later declared that he died of an overdose of cocaine and morphine exacerbated by advanced heart disease. He was 33 years old, which is the exact same age as John Belushi when he died as well of an overdose. Now, before his death, Will Farley had completed 2 films, Almost Heroes and Dirty Work, both of which were released in 1998. Now, years later, in the summer of 2005, well, the actor received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, this guy's an absolute legend, one of my favorites, and I just cracked up a bunch of times while writing this video. Obviously, it's super tragic stuff, but he's just one of those guys. Whenever you saw him, you couldn't help but smile. He also said that, some guys have to be the man who slips on a banana peel and falls, so regular Joes can nudge their wife and say, hey babe, I'm not that bad. Obviously a great guy and just a video I really wanted to make. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. As for the rest of the story, well, the rest of the story lives on through his work and through his loved ones because this is before they were gone. All right, guys, I'll see you in another video.